Hello and welcome back to our Golang crash course. I am Chris Franklin. So what we're going to do today is we're going to cover another important data structure within Go. It's called the map. And so this is going to be a structure that allows us to use what are called key value stores. So we can set up custom types to be a key and look up whatever value we want to store within a map. So the best way to show this off is to just dig straight in and start looking at what these things actually look like. So I'm going to do just a basic variable declaration here. I'm going to use m as my map, and then I'm going to show you what the signature looks like for declining one. We use the map keyword, and then we give it brackets to say, similar to the way we do with with an array. We're going to use the brackets here to define the key. In this case, we're going to use an integer as our key. And then after the brackets, we're going to do what type are we storing as our value. So this is the basic declaration of what a map looks like. So we say it's a map type, and we're going to use integers as keys and strings as the value stored within. Okay. Once we've actually done that, we can create our map using the similar function to what we use to create slices, which is make. And we're going to pass in the map, and we're going to tell it int and string. So we're going to give this exact same signature here inside of our make function to actually declare the space that we want to store this map. Okay. Once we've done that, I can store inside of I can pass it in a key. I can say my key is an integer here, so I want to say at key 0, I'm going to store hello, and at key 1, I am going to store world. Okay, so then here I'm going to replace the print line hello world. I'm going to replace this with print line m so that we can see what this data looks like under the hood. So I can run go run and see what we have here. We have a map with key 0 as hello and key 1 as world. So that's what the structure of a map looks like under the hood. We can also use we can use map literal notation to declare our maps. So if I want to create a new map, we're going to call this S, and I'm going to actually use a string as the key this time, and a string as the value. I can use the literal notation here to pass in hello, and then I use the colon. So this is my key, colon, world as the value. Okay? And once I've done that, I can print this out and say format.println, and let's see what S looks like. So you'll now see I now have another map here that has hello as the key and world as the value stored within there. So I don't have to use integers. I can use any type I want to as both the key and the value. Okay. So what kind of things can we do here? Let's talk about how to actually use maps. Now the first thing we're going to look at is how to insert new things into a map, which you already kind of saw above, but I'm going to show you again here anyway. So I want to insert something into the S map, and I want to enter in the key is going to be world, and I'm going to stick the value as hello. Okay, so if I print this out now, you'll see that it now has two values inside of it, and it has hello world and world hello, right? Two keys, two values. All right, what else can we do? We can fetch data out of a map. Now, the great thing about using maps is that the lookup is nearly instantaneous. We have an index of all of the potential keys inside of this thing. So the lookup is very, very quick. So if I want to find out what is the word that is stored at the key of hello, I can actually just use this syntax here to look it up. Okay? Oops. Let's print out W. So W is equal to whatever is in the map at the hello key. So when I print this out, I will now see world is what is stored at the hello key, which is what we expect here, hello and world. Okay. Now, when we're working with maps, sometimes we don't know if a key actually exists or not. So what we can do is we can use a double assignment here, and we can say, we're going to say H and OK are colon equal to S of world. Okay. And then I can say fmt.println, we're going to print out both OK and H. All right. I already know that something exists at world, so I can actually just see what that value actually is. But you can see OK comes back as true, which means this is a Boolean, and we know, does this value exist or not. So if I wanted to, for instance, look up goo. All right, let's look up what's in goo. If I run this now, you'll see that false comes back, and that we have nothing print out as in H, because there's nothing there. Nothing actually exists in that key. So this will tell us, does something exist or does it not? All right, the final thing that we can do with maps is we can delete. All right, so if I want to delete, I just use the keyword delete, and I pass in the map that I want to delete from and the key I want to delete. Once I've done that, I can print out this map, and you'll be able to see that it now no longer has hello world in there. Now it just has world hello. That's really it. So maps give us a really convenient way of storing data based off of a known key, and then we can look that value up at any given time in the future. We can add new things into it as we need to. It's just a really convenient data structure for being able to easily have this kind of referenceable lookup, some sort of dictionary. That it exists in every language, and this is how you do it inside of Go. So I hope you enjoyed that. We only have one more lesson left in the crash course before we move on to before you're going to have to move on to the advanced Go course. So hopefully you've been enjoying this. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the whole tutorial series so far. And if you, again, if you have any questions whatsoever, drop them in the comments below and I'll answer them as quickly as possible. Thank you all so much. I look forward to seeing you in the next and last lesson in this crash course.